A minister passing through his church and in the middle of the day decided to pause by the altar to see who had come to pray. Just then the back door opened and a man came down the aisle, and the minister frowned as he saw the man. He hadn't shaved for a while. His shirt was torn and shabby, and his coat was worn and frayed. The man knelt down and bowed his head and then rose up and walked away. In the days that followed, at precisely noon, the preacher saw this chap. Each time he knelt just for a moment, a lunch pail in his lap. Well, the minister's suspicion grew, with robbery a main fear. He decided to stop and ask the man, What are you doing here? The old man said he was a factory worker, and lunch hour was half an hour. Lunchtime was his prayer time for finding strength and power. I say only a moment because the factory's far away, and as I kneel there talking to the Lord, this is kind of what I say. I just came to die to tell you, Lord, that how happy I've been since we found each other's friendship and you took away my sin. Don't know much of how to pray, and I thank you every day. So Jesus, this is Ben, just checking in today. The minister, feeling foolish, told Ben that it was fine, and he told the man that he was welcome to pray there any time. It's time to go, thanks, Ben said, as he hurried to the door. Then his minister knelt down at the altar, which he had never done before. His cold heart melted, warmed with love, as he met with Jesus there. As the tears flowed down his cheeks, he repeated old Ben's prayer. Just came by to tell you, Lord, that how happy I've been since we found each other's friendship and you took away my sin. I don't know much of how to pray, but I think about you every day. So Jesus, this is me, just checking in today. Past noon, the minister noticed that old Ben hadn't come, and as days passed, still no Ben. He began to worry some. At the factory, he asked about him, and learning he was ill, the hospital staff was worried, but he didn't give them a thrill. The week that Ben was with them had brought changes in their ward. His smile and joy contagious. Changed things were his reward. The head nurse couldn't understand why Ben would be so glad. With no flowers or call cards came, or not a visitor he had. The minister stayed by his bed, his voice the noises concerned. The friends had come to show they cared. He had nowhere to turn. Looking surprised, old Ben woke up, then with a winsome smile. The nurse is wrong, she couldn't know he'd been there all the while. Every day at noon he comes here, a dear friend of mine, you see. He sits right down there and takes my hand and leans over and says to me, I just come by to talk to you, Ben, and how happy I have been since we found this friendship and you took away my sin. I think about you always, and I love to hear you pray. And so, Ben, this is Jesus, just checking in today.